So as we've noticed over the past 3 months or so, collector boxes across the board are kind of going crazy. They're basically disappearing from the market, and the prices are going up. It's basically a bull market magic for collector boxes, especially. And there's a million of them I could talk about, but I'll kind of go one by one as I make videos. And right now, I really want to talk about Brothers War because it hasn't quite made the big move yet, but it's about to. So I went online, again, the big ones, eBay, TCG Player, to kind of look at what's in stock, what's been selling, and where we're kind of at right now. So Brothers War, which has always kind of been like a $200, $220 collector box for quite a while. It's been out for quite a bit now, what, year and a half or so. And I've noticed that supply has been dwindling over the past few months. So I got a good stockpile for myself. I'm pretty good. I've got quite a bit for my Whatnot show for now. I can keep it at a pretty decent price. I'm pretty happy about that. But as my stockpile is slowly dwindling, as we kind of rip through boxes looking for serialized cards and things like that, Mox Ambers, whatever, I'm trying to keep an eye on what the stock is online. Again, the biggest ones, eBay, TCG Player, is what I'm going to show you. There are stores that have it in stock, but again, every store has a few here, a few there. No one has like a crazy amount of it. But right now, what I'm seeing in stock, this is between, well, basically up to $300. Basically, they're at $250 right now per box. So this is basically the prices between $250 and $300 per box. On eBay, there's 16 boxes. This is English, not Japanese, because there's a bunch of Japanese boxes too that are mixed in between that $200 and like $275 mark. But this is just English. There's 16 boxes on eBay below $300. That's not much. It's less than one master case. On TCG Player, I counted 30, I think it was 31 boxes altogether on TCG Player below the $300 mark. This is before tax and all that, but including shipping. So 47 boxes. That's just shy of just shy of two master cases for Brothers War. On the open market, eBay, TCG Player, below $300. So I looked at the 30 days, not just 3 months, not 3 months, but 30 days of sales on TCG Player and eBay for boxes that have sold. Again, English only. TCG Player, 56 boxes have sold. Again, there's 31 in stock below 300. In the past 30 days, there's been 56 collector boxes of Brothers War that have sold. So more sold in 30 days than there is stock online for under $300. eBay, there's been 40. So altogether, in 30 days, Brothers War English collector boxes and just TCG Player and eBay, 96 have sold, with right now 47 left in stock. So does it mean that in like 15 or 20 days they're all going to be out of stock? No, I mean, not necessarily. There's always more that comes to market. There's some people that adjust their prices, maybe up or down. Some people maybe want to get a quick sale, so they drop the sale price. They need to kind of like allocate, free up some funds or capital or whatever, or they just kind of find somebody to decide to sell it and undercut everybody else. They can put those prices lower and sell them really quick. That's fine. You'll always see more come to market a little bit at a time, but depends on the sales velocity versus the supply that's coming. And right now, based on these numbers on these two main sites, it seems like they're selling faster than the supply can hit the market. So I think we're going to see these things moved from 250 to 300 really quick. Now, that's just the main two sites. And I know there are several stores online. If you Google like Brothers War collector boxes for sale and go to shopping, you can see a lot of stores do have it for sale around the 250, 260 mark, in that range. But the thing that's different about like eBay, TCG Player, when you're talking about individual stores, depending on how they work their inventory, what you see online, you can see a store with 6 boxes online for $250. Now that could be everything that they have. They sell it, they move on to the next product, and that's it. They don't really carry it anymore. Or they're the kind of store where they just list a few at a time and raise the price as the market moves with it. So that's kind of like, it's up in the air. You won't kind of know until it happens. But I looked at some of the bigger stores, and some of the bigger stores, I'm not going to name them specifically, but it doesn't look like they have a lot of stock, because I can actually like add them all to my cart, try to check out, and just try to like see what numbers they actually have. And obviously, of course, like the Amazons or whatever. I mean, we don't even look at that anymore. Those prices I think they're maybe above 300 at this point, because they're always a little higher. But I've noticed Brothers War for a while now. It's a set that I absolutely love to open up. Again, when I talked about my serialized card video and like the numbers of them, I think serialized cards in Brothers War was 31,500. I think that's what it was. So a lot of serialized cards, they're easier to find than most sets, even though I've opened like literally my show in the past week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it was. I'm at 12 boxes in a row from a master case and no serialized. So that can happen too. Generally speaking, in a case of 6, you get like 2 serialized. That's the average. But this is the variance you can see sometimes. So it's still fun to hunt for them. I got a good amount in stock, and I like to keep it at, I think I'm selling for like 25 bucks a pack We're at TCG Player right now. I think they're just about to push 27 a pack, which is kind of the barometer that I use when I'm using my pricing. But Brothers War, I think it's a good set. I don't think it's like a phenomenal set. I like it. I love the artifacts in it. I think everyone else does too. And as it's aging, you're starting to see it creep up, and people want to have the better chance to hunt for serialized cards that are a little easier to get. Again, you open up a set of, say, like an Aether Drift, the new set. There's only 500 serialized cards in the world. They're incredibly hard to hit. But when you have a set like Brothers War, where it's one of the earlier ones, and it's easier to hit these serialized cards, it's more enticing to open those for serialized cards and try to find that big cool hit if you can. I've still not pulled a Mox Amber serialized. Again, only 500 in the world. I'm trying, but I haven't got one yet. But I wanted to point this one out. I've been going through a lot of my sets, collector boxes that I carry, especially with serialized cards, because I want to talk about the price movement and things like that. And I'm going to get to a lot of them in time. But this one I want to focus on because because it hasn't quite moved yet, but I feel like it's about to. And again, it doesn't take much. You're talking about like on TCG Player and eBay, the main two sites, 47, I think it was like 47 left in the market under $300. And it's those even numbers, the 200, the 300, and even like the, you calculate the 250 in the middle. It's those milestones where boxes hit. And I don't think they'll actually ever drop below it. Because Brothers War is, again, it's a little bit of an older set now. I mean, it's people have kind of opened it. They've had their time with it. It's in the past. They focus on new things, but people still like to open these old sets for serialized cards and the cool hits of them. So they are still dwindling. And I'm going to go into this more in depth because later on, I'm going to make a video about collector boxes in general across the board and why they're all going up. Spoiler alert, the answer is because of, honestly, sites like Whatnot and Drip, eBay. They're doing rip and ships and live things like that, and people don't realize how much this is really affecting the market. And again, as I say, I'm just one person, but I know plenty of people, especially on sites like these, just like me, that carry these products, and they're always looking for the best deal. They're looking for the lowest price, so they're going to keep chipping away at these low prices, which is going to slowly bring these boxes up. I don't see people hoarding things like Brothers War. There might be some people that have some, but like I don't think people are like hoarding master cases of Brothers War. I don't think it's that kind of set. I mean, it's cool, Mishra Urza, Transformers, it's a really cool thing, but it's not like a super crazy IP like Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy, which is coming, Marvel, things like that. But it's a very cool set. I like it, and again, not advice, but my suggestion is if it's a set that you like and you like to open the cards and the packs and you want to get them below $300 a box, I think you should take a look at what's going on in the market with them. And again, how I mentioned, like, there are stores that have it in stock that will move they'll list some of their inventory and slowly move the price up as their inventory sells out and the market moves with it. And the biggest thing that they look at is going to be TCG Player and eBay solds. Now, eBay solds, you kind of have to like sort through like the, ended recently, solds, and you kind of have to take some time to filter out the results. Where TCG Player, it's a lot easier to see the price movement and the sales data and all that, because you can literally look at the solds and there's your grid right there of the dates that actually every transaction it shows you, in this date one sold for this price, and this date two sold for this price, and so on and so forth. So you can see very clearly in like a day or a month, just you can count it up in a few minutes. eBay takes a little longer. So generally people look at TCG Player for that barometer for what the price should be on the market. So if you're sitting there, if you're a store and you've got a master case of Brothers War and you're like, well, I'm not in a hurry to sell them, so what I'm going to do is list 6 for $250. Once those slowly sell out or someone buys all 6, then the next one's list for $260, $265, whatever it is, then $275, then $290, $300, however you want to do it. But it's going to move quick. And again, all it takes is one Whatnot streamer, one Drip streamer, one store to go buy 6 from one seller, a master case from somebody else. And again, what did I say? It was on eBay. There's only 16 left below 300. And I did look through the listings of like multiple quantities, so I think there was actually only maybe like 10 listings, because several of them had like, there's a few that had like 2 or 3 quantities, but there's only like 10 sellers that had it for that low. And it doesn't take much to clear out 16 boxes. I mean, you're talking like $4,000. That's really not a lot of money over the grand scheme of the market with MTG and all that. So it's food for thought. I think it's an amazing set. Again, it's one of those sets where I will always carry it. And like other things I talked about, like Lord of the Rings before, that Brothers War is a set that I will always carry. It just gets to a point where, am I buying a case of six, and so I have some for a little bit, and I keep that price point the same, or do they start getting really expensive, where I'm only going to buy one box at a time? Like, for example, going back to Lord of the Rings, boxes are pushing 1850. I mentioned before that they're just going to keep going up, and there is nothing stopping them. A box like that, I'll buy one at a time and carry it for the show. But even that one sale makes a big difference. Where for Brothers War, someone buys a case of six or just a couple boxes from one seller, it's really going to move the price. So keep an eye on Brothers War. If it's a set you like, I recommend looking into it, maybe grabbing some, hold on for the future, or rip them for yourself for a fun time. But they're creeping up like everything else. Like I said, I plan on making a video in the future about my broad opinion overall of collector boxes. But specifically, Brothers War, it's at 250. I mean, I don't want to put dates on it because it seems like, kind of it's risky to do that, but just for fun. I mean, I think that you're going to see Brothers War hit $300 easily within 2 months. I mean, if not way before that. All it takes is one person to spend like what, 7, 8 grand. They're $300 a box, and all of a sudden they're $250 cost. Now they're worth $300 a piece just in the open market. And that's how it is, and all the stores will follow up and do that. So, food for thought. If you like Brothers War, it's going to be the next collector box to move, in my opinion.